So we're going to springboard this list with Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. This is the most rich, the most dense RPG, Western RPG that I've ever played in my entire life. It is just replete with lore and characterization. It's got so much depth when it comes to its replayability. This game gives you so much leeway and so much freedom with its dialogue choices, with its character creation system, with its emergent gameplay, with its clan choices. This game has a plethora of endings and numerous playstyles. This game has some of the best atmosphere of any game I've ever played. This is very gothic, vampiric, obviously Western United States, West Coast atmosphere with sections of Asiatic Russo culture. This game incorporates so much genres, FPS stealth, like kind of magic, horror, thriller, vampire, urban, fantasy, noir, mystery, RPG, immersive sim. This game has so many memorable levels, so many memorable scenes where you play as a detective, reverse engineering the location of a snuff film, of which you do watch in-game, by the way, to investigating supernatural, haunted mansions, to murders, to crime scenes. In this game, you can dwell in the sewers, and then you can surreptitiously subvert your way into high-class society, high-class parties. The game has so much astounding, memorable scenes and characters, and its storyline is grand, it's epic. It's just so good, but it's so bloated. It's kind of meandering. It's got a lot of, fluff to it. Some of the levels in this game can get infuriating, but holy shit, this game has so much interesting locations, so many interesting characters, so many interesting moments, and it's just full to the brim with lore and just gameplay and roleplayability. I mean, this game is as close as you can get to S tier without breaching S tier. There's just tons of bugs, tons of pacing issues, and it's kind of overwrought. It's kind of bloated, but it is as close to a 10 out of 10 you can get without actually being a 10 out of 10. It's a flawed masterpiece. I don't mean that in a figurative sense. I mean that in a literal sense. I, in good faith, put it below A tier. I just cannot. I'm tempted to put an S tier, but there are just some things weighing it down. Put an A tier. Next, I think we're going to do Half-Life. Okay, Wolfenstein was, the Citizen Kane of FPS games. Doom, refined Wolfenstein, and Half-Life is like the second Citizen Kane, where it just reinvents the entire genre again, bringing environmental storytelling, bringing an overarching storyline with a character, with other characters. This game was the first FPS game to take the FPS genre out of this cyclical creative cycle of just like an arena simulator, just a long string of arenas that get harder and harder and harder. No, the Half-Life's entire game / story just feels like one giant real place. Continuous storytelling with no breaks in the pacing, where it feels like a continuous long experience. Half-Life's entire game / story just feels like one giant real place. FPS games up until Half-Life were just these level clearing, arcade boomer shooters, and Half-Life actually changed the entire genre and just reinvented, not only creatively speaking when it comes to its creative direction, but when it comes to its technology. Half-Life was one of the first FPS games, I think maybe the first, to incorporate like bone physics, like full body animations, and the enemies in this game are actually extremely intelligent and will flank you and will dodge you and will use grenades and will behave tactically. It's just so revolutionary. It's such a grand journey with such an interesting setting, set in the Western United States on some remote military research facility, and it incorporates these like sci-fi horror elements. There's just it incorporates an entire different fucking world with alien species invading the place. The Zen with the Vortigaunts, so the head crabs. I mean, this is just such an interesting blend of genres, and it famously birthed Half-Life, which is one of the most influential FPS, if not the most influential FPS series of all time. So I think I necessarily have to put it into S tier. So we're gonna do Pathologic. Amazing game. This game is often described as like a Dostoevsky survival horror simulator, and that's basically what it is. This game is so well written. It's so atmospheric. It's just got such a unique and interesting setting. It's set in the Sept town, with these horror, Black Death, medieval European elements. You're basically a doctor trying to, cure this like supernatural disease, and you're just placed into this fucking world that is just so like indifferent, so off-putting, and so cold. And this game is just so good. It's just so good. Morrowind, A tier. This is definitely the best Elder Scrolls game. Morrowind has, out of all the Elder Scrolls games, Morrowind is a game with the most interesting, the most creative setting and plot. That Morrowind has a distinctive atmosphere that is unique to Morrowind, that is just not interchangeable. Unlike with Oblivion, which is high fantasy, unlike with Skyrim, which is just Nordic fantasy, Morrowind truly sets itself apart. And I think story-wise, it does that too. I think Morrowind has better lore. I think Morrowind overall just has a better storyline. Oblivion's storyline is way too theatrical and just so movie-like and so lame and gay. And Skyrim's storyline is just non-existent. Morrowind also just has, I love the environmental gripping nature of Morrowind, where you have to learn and for yourself, where to go. You have to like put stuff together like a real functioning person, and you don't have like a fucking compass directing you to places. You don't have fast travel. It brings so much role playability and so much. It connects you with the environment, which the other Elder Scrolls games just do not do. So I think I'm going to put an A tier. System Shock 2, A tier. This is easily the best survival horror FPS RPG of all time. It's really good. Doom 64, I'll put it in B tier. It's alright. It's pretty good. It's very much more horror. It's like Doom 3, but like Doom 1. It's like if Doom 3 and Doom 1 had a child. That's what Doom 64 is. And it's good. It's good. Prey. I'm going to have to put Prey in B tier. Because Prey is just so derivative of System Shock 2 and Bioshock. And the ending is just so fucking gay. It's all Nighthead ending. And this game has an amazing atmosphere. It's got some amazing intrigue and mystery in the beginning. It's got such a super cool, alienating, and isolating atmosphere filled with these like very disturbing enemies, like the Typhons, which are like these aliens that mimic objects, and it's just an interesting setting with an interesting premise, I guess. But it's still, it's just still not. It's not A tier. It's not as good as System Shock 2. It's not as good as Pathologic. It's not as good as Morrowind. It's not as good as Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines. No. Doom 3, put in B tier. People famously hate this game because it just does a fucking detour when it comes to the Doom formula, into the survival horror, Dead Space type of setting. But it's really good. It is really good. I really like Doom 3. It's not as good as the other Doom games, to be honest. I think I prefer the gameplay of the Doom 1 and Doom 2 and Doom 64, but I really do appreciate Doom 3 and the risk it took, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, Doom 3 is really good. I really like it. Oblivion, put in B tier. Oblivion is alright. It's good. It's definitely better than Skyrim. Oblivion has some good quests, a good storyline. Way better on all fronts when it comes to story and the quests than Skyrim. Oblivion, Thieves Guild quests better, Mages Guild quests better, Brotherhood quests better, main storyline quests better. Oblivion's just better on all fronts, on all cylinders when it comes to like storyline and the story and the quests. Oblivion has a better atmosphere in my opinion. I like the Tolkien high fantasy atmosphere of Oblivion, and also The illustrations for the UI and the perks and the star signs and the birth signs and the classes are just so fucking good this very day. The atmosphere, like the sheer artisticness to the user interface and to the graphics are just so fucking good and so fucking ethereal and so intoxicating. I can't believe I'm like lauding a game's illustrations and the user interface system, but it adds so much to the atmosphere of Oblivion in such a subtle way, and it's just so good. Oblivion's soundtrack is also better than Skyrim's. Yeah, Oblivion is way better than Skyrim. I just put Skyrim in C tier. You know, it's whatever. It's good, it's serviceable, but Oblivion and Morrowind are just better. Half-Life 2, A tier. Half-Life reinvents the FPS genre again with its physics, with its lighting, with its graphics. Half-Life 2 has a grand Odyssey by Homer type of storyline similar to Half-Life, but perhaps not as grand, but it's just still a seamless adventure. Half-Life 2 is also one of the most unique, interesting settings out of any FPS game I've ever played. It's this Eastern European meets this Orwellian dystopia meets this cosmic horror meets this First Contact story where the environment is modeled with these brutalist, functional totalitarian obstructions that don't have care for humanity or their say in it. The Combine are an interesting enemy design. The Combine is like this interdimensional intergalactic empire that combines all the great things about all the species they've conquered, and they repurpose their biological apparatuses with machinery with other parts of other different species, and or they repurpose them entirely from the bottom up. The Combine are just in general just have a very interesting. You've got like this Eastern European setting with this very brutalist, futurist fucking environment, and then you've got these like fucking ships that look like amphibians or like fish, and you've got these striders that look like crabs. It's got so much character to it. It's such an interesting, stylistically interesting game FPS. And Half-Life 2 is just not interchangeable with any fucking FPS. I can't think of a single FPS I can step in Half-Life 2's shoes. Yeah, Half-Life 2 is just extremely good. Doom, S tier. Doom did what Wolfenstein did, but did it a trillion times better. Doom, to this very day, is still an amazing game to play from front to back. And it's one of the most fluid, one of the most it's one of the best paced, most fluid FPS games that you'll ever play in your entire life. It's still as fun as it was back in 1993 or 1996 or whenever this game fucking came out. It's just still so very good to this very day. And it revolutionized the FPS genre. It brought this unique and interesting setting. With this new, unique and interesting art style. Last of Us Part 2, put in B tier. It retcons a lot of the characters. It's got some weird politics infused into it. Characters that Last of Us Part 2 introduces are just I just don't like. I don't find endearing. I don't really find particularly well written. I do think Last of Us Part 2, when it comes to like a standalone game, notwithstanding the prior game, on its own is a relatively good game with a relatively good story. But I just don't think it's as good as Last of Us Part 1. But it's definitely not F or E or D or C. No, it's not average. It's not below average. It's not like a 4 out of 5 out of 10. You can hate the story if you want to, but you just cannot play this game and tell me that it's fucking average or below average. It's not. You don't have to be a fucking full retard and be like, oh, it's either a masterpiece or it's 0 out of 10 or it's a 4 out of 10. No, it's somewhere between 5 out of 10 and a 10 out of 10. Okay, it's not that bad.